Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Nidhaya Hridi Vishveshvam Vidhaya Guru Vandanam Balanam Sukhabodhaya Kriyate Tarka samgraha. Okay, with that, we saw the main padarthas, etc. last time when we have summarized. Then we saw the basic gunas also to an extent. Okay. And then classification of karma. That's also simple. Okay. Then what is general and what is Vishesha? Samanyam and Vishesha. Samanyam are general qualities and Vishesha is particular qualities. These are very clear, easy things. Okay. Then what is important is Samavaya, that will come later on also. Then he talked about various gunas of earth, Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apa, Prithvi, all that we saw. I don't think there is anything much to be said here. Is there any doubt on these things? Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apa, Prithvi is very clear. They have added Kala also because time and space they are taking as separate. Okay. Why? Because it's all, remember, it is based on your functioning. So you always have a reference to time when functioning. Even though time-space continuum for scientific purposes can be taken as one, as far as your functioning is concerned, here, now or later, all those expressions will come in. So that's why they are taken time as separate. Okay. Then another thing they are taken is direction. Again, directions are included in space. But with respect to functioning, again, north, south, east, west minimum becomes important. For Vastu, it becomes important. Giving directions, how do you go from here to there, directions becomes important. Yeah. So because of all these things, they have included direction as a separate entity. Okay. Then Atma is also taken as an entity. Why? What is the Atma? Atma is where substratum of knowledge. What do you call as the I is where knowledge takes place. Jnana gunakam atmana. Okay. Yeah. The locus of knowledge has to be yourself. So, Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apa, Prithvi. पांच हो गया ना? Akasha, Vayu, Agni, yeah. Apa is water, yeah. Then mind, okay. Mind here they are taken as more from the emotional standpoint. Mind not taken from the knowledge standpoint, mind taken more from the emotional point. And when they are talking of Atma, they are talking of different Atmas, plurality. Therefore, basically Dvaita school. Okay. All this is simple. Then 24 qualities. So in the 24 qualities, the nature of each of them. Rupa is taken as color, more than form. Rupa in Tarka is taken more as color. Okay. What is seen by the eye. Though in Vedanta we will take both as color and form. Form is more important actually. Taste, rasa. Therefore the 6 states that you have. Again, that's all very simple, nothing much to be seen. Smell, touch, and here only difference that comes here in Tarka is the theory of Pakaha. The color change that happens when you apply heat. When you apply heat to something, very often there is a color change. That color change is what heat is responsible for it. Therefore, they all have, okay, Rupadi Chatushtayam Prithivim Pakajam Anityam Cha. Whatever is Pakajam, because it is caused by something, is taken as Anityam. And what is not Pakajam is taken as Nityam. Therefore, the color change because of application of heat. Anyone who has burnt food knows that. Though here they are not talking about burning of food, they are talking of baking a pot and things like that. So the red color coming out in when you bake a pot, all that is what they are talking about. Okay, the color change.
So what is Nityam and what is Anityam?
Anything that has been caused, anityam. Therefore, by application of heat, the color has changed, anityam. Natural color, nityam. Yeah. Then number, sankhya, dimensions. What is distinct? Dimension, this is simple. I mean, this is all in our common sense knowledge. We don't have to need any big explanation for these things. Okay? In the summing up, especially. Okay? Then distinctness, pritaktvam. What is distinct? One is distinct. Therefore, the distinguishing characteristics. Okay? So that they have grouped together to form a quality called pritaktvam. Then samyoga, joining together. All objects have this, no? Any dravyam, object, can come together. So two things can come together. So samyoga. If samyoga is there, viyoga is also there, vibhaga. Whatever causes separateness is called vibhaga. Then what is remote and what is close? Okay. Paratvam and aparatvam or paroksham. Paroksham, aparoksham, what we call, they call it as paratvam and aparatvam. Then weight, gurutvam, weight is also a quality. Okay. Fluidity in liquids, dravatvam, another quality. Whatever can flow. Okay. Then viscosity, sneha, like in ghee, honey, etc. They are taken as a separate quality because some things can be, water is not viscous. Water is dravatvam, flowing. But honey can be viscous. Yeah, it doesn't flow like water flows. Therefore, just experiential. All these are experientially what you see and they are taken as qualities. Okay. Shabdaha, akashagunakam. Then cognition, jnanam. In cognition, they take what is remembered and what is anubhava. Okay. And he puts sarva vyavahara hetuhu. You know, there is a tendency to look at modern world as we are living in a knowledge-oriented society. When were we not knowledge-oriented? Tell me. If you want anything to do anything, you should have some knowledge, no? Even to eat something, I have to have knowledge that that is eatable. It's not something that will cause harm to me. I mean, not immediate harm. Long-term harm it can, cholesterol, etc. But immediate harm is not there. It's palatable. Without that knowledge, how will I eat something? So, sarva vyavahara hetu jnanam. The hetu for all vyavaharas, all transactions, is knowledge. Yeah. This water will quench my thirst. Otherwise, how will I drink water? How will I know to drink water? Yeah. How will I know to drink water? It's like the story of this guy who walks into a bar and says, you mix a drink, you mix any drink, I'll identify what all is there in it. So the bartender mixes 3-4 drinks together and gives it. He identifies. 2-3 times, he identifies every time. So the bartender is smart. He fills a glass of water and gives it. I don't know what it is, but I know you will not be able to sell it. So, for vyavahara, you need some knowledge. Without knowledge, there is no way you can have any vyavahara. Okay? Yeah. Sarva vyavahara hetu jnanam. And this jnanam is both, he says. Twofold. Smriti and cognition. Anubhava. Smriti is memory, anubhava is cognition. So be very careful when you come across the word anubhava in technical literature, it stands for knowledge, not experience. The word Anubhava has become experience in our colloquial usage. In colloquial usage, Anubhava is taken as experience. Technical usage, Anubhava is cognition. So when we say Vidvat Anubhava, etc., we are talking about cognition. Okay? We are talking about cognition, knowing. Yeah. Okay. Then Anubhava can be twofold. Yathartham, Ayathartham cha. It can be true to the object involved. It's called Yathartha Anubhava. If it is not true to the object, it's called Ayathartha Anubhava. That's very clear. Yathartham, Ayathartham cha. True to the knowledge. If you understand the book as a book, it is Yathartham. If you take the book as something else, it is Ayathartham. So a mistaken notion he takes it as Ayathartham. Ayarthartha Jnanam. Okay. Apprehension Anubhava. Okay. Yathartham, Ayathartham. Then here he comes in by saying Yathartha Jnanam is fourfold, depending upon what is the pramana that has given you Yathartha Jnanam. Because the moment you say Jnanam, knowledge, you need a pramana for it, a means of knowledge. Without a means of knowledge, there is no knowledge. That is why, even in Tarka and all, intuition is not taken as knowledge.
Swamiji, sorry, can you just explain this, that this thing, samskara, matra, janam,
Huh?
this 17, no? Remembrance, smriti.
Yeah, Smriti.
Says that this is given to avoid over-applicability of,
Yeah.
yeah.
You are dividing into two because there is a difference between memory and knowledge. No? Memory cannot always be relied upon. I can remember a situation wrongly. Whereas knowledge is what is right now here, this is it. Yeah.
So basically to differentiate it from
Yeah.
perception.
To differentiate how pramanajanyam now or sometime back. Sometime back distortions can come in. This is a book, no distortion. But now memory wise, it was yellow writing on green background or green writing on yellow background. Yeah, exact. Samskarajanyam. So, it's always samskarajanyam. So, yeah, that's why he is making the differentiation. And if you are saying, remember that's why intuition is not knowledge for the simple reason that there is no pramana involved. Does intuition exist? Of course it exists. Nobody is denying the existence of intuition. But intuition always requires verification. Because sometimes intuition may be just your projection. Yeah. Because you wanted it so much, you are projecting into that. Yeah. It is like every man going to a bar looks at a girl, he gets an intuition. Oh, I think she likes me. She may be thinking, what a jerk this guy looks like, what an idiot he looks like. That's called exaggerated self-opinions. Okay. Yeah. So, intuition always has to be verified. Is it true or not? If it has to be verified, it cannot be put as knowledge. By pramanik jnanam, there is a finality about it. This is a book, finished. This is not intuition. That is why Vedanta does not present Atmajnanam as intuitive. And any person who's presenting Atmajnanam as intuition is doing a disservice to Vedanta. Really, he is doing a disservice. Because it is not. It is pramana-jnana. Intuitive understanding of the truth. In the intuitive experience of the rishis, etc. Nonsense. Some story you want to make up. Why? Because you can't accept the fact Ishvara has gained that knowledge. Your secular bias is so much, you can't accept that this knowledge is from Ishvara. That's all the reason behind it. I was simply saying, no, Ishvara has revealed the knowledge. How can Ishvara reveal the knowledge? You say, I don't know whether there is Ishvara. Those are the issues that you have to understand then. Ishvara is not a matter of belief. Ishvara is a matter of understanding. So can you understand is the question.
So for them also knowledge is.
Yeah.
If it is subject to, it is isness.
Yeah.
In Tarka also.
Yeah.
Knowledge is.
Yeah, knowledge is there. Yeah, that's always there. That's what I'm saying. This intuition business becomes a big problem. Born from some of these biases. First of all, I can't accept Ishvara because Ishvara becomes an article of faith. There is a stupid argument. This guy, who's that guy who writes for films? Javed Akhtar. Okay. Javed Akhtar and Sadhguru, there is a video shot of their. Okay. So Javed Akhtar saying, we have to differentiate between belief and faith. I may believe anything. I may believe I am in Bombay for this discussion in this thing, or I may be in Nagpur. My faith is I am in Bombay. There is not faith, that's your knowledge, you are in Bombay. I am telling you, I don't know how people, so-called great liberal intellectuals become idiots, Yeah, he is supposed to be a liberal individual. But if you look at that, this thing, total idiocy what he is saying. Not that Sadhguru has said anything great, but out of the two, I would prefer this guy. Yeah. Ishvara is not article of faith. Ishvara is something you have to understand. Yeah. Many religions present it as an article of faith because of their limited understanding. Their limited understanding, if your understanding is limited, then you have to believe. It's not belief, it's understanding. If Ishvara is a fact, it has to be understood. Similarly, when it comes to other things, that Ishvara has revealed this knowledge. Then the question is, how can Ishvara reveal that? If you accept Ishvara, then Ishvara can reveal the knowledge any manner he wants. Correct? See, once you understand Ishvara is everything, consciousness manifests in the totality, abhinna nimitta upadana karanam is Ishvara, then Ishvara can take a form to reveal the knowledge also. Because all knowledge is his knowledge. Ishvara can reveal without this form also. What is the idea? Pramana means it has to come outside you, no? Through a means it has to come. That's what the pramana is. Therefore, Shabdam Pramanam. Veda is Shabda. Shabdatmakam Pramanam. Shabda Pramana is called the Veda, the Upanishad, etc. Not intuition. No, that's all. Somebody can say, now look at it. If you are talking about intuitive experiences, see, Tarka is also clear. Pramana Jnanyam. That's why I am saying this. If you are talking about intuitive experiences, then somebody had an intuitive experience that Kali appeared to me. Somebody else has an intuitive experience, Krishna appeared to me. Somebody else had an intuitive experience, Jesus appeared. Somebody else has an intuitive experience, as an octopus the person appeared. Which is true? You have to say everything is true. Correct? Because intuitive experiences. And believe me, if you have intuitive experience like this, you will fight with each other on it. Unless you have the higher knowledge that Ishvara, all names and forms are Ishvara, you saw Ishvara in that particular form because of your emotional relationship. Unless you have that understanding, you will fight with each other. This God is only God. God is in this form only. There's a funny video like this on YouTube. I forget. It's a comedian saying, the British are coming to India and saying, we have come to civilize you. You must believe in our God. You must believe in God. So he says, which God? The Indian answers, which God? Must believe in God, which God? हमारा पास बहुत है ना, भंडार भरा हुआ है. You must believe in the only one true God. Who is that? God. What is his name? God. You want me to believe in your God and you don't even know his name? How can you believe someone you don't know his name? It's a comedian and he's not an Indian comedian, okay? He's a Westerner who's saying, who made this. Very funny video. Because he'll keep fighting like this, no? Only one true God. That I had direct experience. So somebody else also had direct experience. Yeah. Then whom are you going to take it? Knowledge is final, experience is not. Okay? That's what pramana jnanya jnanam. And here they accept 4 pramana. Pratyaksham, anumanam, shabda and upamanam. That's it. Yeah? Yeah, shoot.
Explain Pratibhijnanam. I don't get it well.
What is Pratibhijnanam? Where?
It's on page 59. Where remembrance is.
Okay. Pratyabhijnanam is, you see this book in my hand? Do you recognize that this was the same book I had in the last class? That is called Pratyabhijna. That the book that I was holding in the last class, the book that I held in all the classes is one and the same. That continuity that you recognize is called Pratyabhijna. This is the same as that. That's called Pratyabhijna. Okay? Yeah. So memory involves that. No? Memory involves that, yeah. And you have the same Pratyabhijna with respect to the I. That's also important to see. Why? I was the one who slept like a log last night. I was the one who got the dreams. I am the one who's awake now. Correct or not? The guy who slept, the guy who dreamt, and the guy who's awake now is one and the same. Correct, hai? Don't all of us have this knowledge? Doubt, eh? I slept, I dreamt, I am awake now. Hopefully. No doubt on that, na? So that is Pratyabhijna about the I. जब मैं बिल्कुल बच्चा था बहुत शरारत करता था. I as a kid. क्या रंगीन जवानी था, एक राजा और एक रानी था. That is youth. अब तो बिल्कुल बूढ़ा हूँ. That is now. Old age. So, youth, kaumaram, yauvanam, jara. One pratyabhijna or not? Huh? You recognize you in the same? You are a kid. You are a youth. You are senior citizen now. Pratyabhijna with respect to I. You know the sofa I am using is the same sofa my father bought. Pratyabhijna with respect to an object. Pratyabhijna with respect to an object. Pratyabhijna with respect to I. It's the same thing. Pratyabhijna right through is important in Vedanta. Because without Pratyabhijna, if you don't accept Pratyabhijna, you cannot accept Sakshi. Sakshi as a witness of waking dream and deep sleep, you will not be able to accept. Your Pratyabhijna is your anubhava, your knowledge, you are born of your own experience. You don't need any pramana for it. Why? I am doesn't require any pramana. No? So I am there in deep sleep. I am there in waking. I am there now. That I am doesn't require. So that is pratyabhijna. Memory based. You can say, yeah, it's memory based. So in Tarka, they accept only 4 pramanas. Pratyaksham, Anumanam, Upamanam and Shabda. Now, we accept Arthapatti, deductive logic. That they will include into Anumanam. We accept Anupalabdhi as Vedantins. Cognition of things that are not there. That they will put as Pratyaksha. They will include into Pratyaksha. By saying the same sense organ that can sense the presence of an object will also see the absence of an object. Okay? Though how you see without light being reflected is a different thing. Therefore, that's why we have put it separately. For all practical purposes, when I say, is Surendran here today? No, not in the class, not on the screen. Okay? Not in the class, nor on the screen. So, am I not using my eyes there? I am using my eyes, no? I am looking. But why do we keep it separate? We keep it separate only because we are recognizing the guy is not here. Whereas if the eye has to be here, it is pratyaksham. If the guy is not here, we put as anupalabdhi. It's a technical difference. Practically it comes to the same. But technically, for technical reasons, we have to keep separate. Because why it has come? Okay, in summary, maybe I should clarify this point. Why it has come about is because we don't accept abhava as an object, as a padartha. Vedantins do not accept abhava as a padartha, whereas Tarka accepts abhava as a padartha. We don't. This is just the absence. Because if you accept abhava as a padartha, this is why I said technical difference. Then you have to say there is something called non-existence. Non-existence becomes a viable option of existence. But that is very contrary to the term non-existence. You can't say non-existence exists. Then it's existence. That's tautology. That's just superfluous way of saying it. How can you say non-existence? Absence of existence is there. You can say absence of a given form is not there. There is nothing like pure abhava. Abhava is not a padartha. Abhava is only combinations. Because if you have to say something is non-existence, give me an example of non-existence. You cannot give me an example. What is your pramana to know non-existence? You will have to say pratyaksha. That means, are you seeing the absence of something? Yeah, I am seeing the absence of Surendran here. Meaning what? You have a concept of a person and you are saying that person is not there here in this class. Person exists somewhere else. Class is existing here. But the combination of that person and the class here is not there. So, abhava for Vedantin is only the absence of a particular combination. The person and this time and place. The horns on the rhinoceros and my forehead, that combination doesn't exist. That combination doesn't exist, that is all. But if you are taking abhava as pratyaksham, then it becomes a padartha. It has to exist. That's the technical difference we talk about in Vedanta. Though practically, yeah, you look around and say Surendra is not there. You are using your eyes. Yeah. Or you are using your ears. Have you heard about somebody who has got a horn? No, suna nahi hai. Nahi hai. So pratiksha comes in like that. But if you say it's established by a pramana, then it has to exist as a padartha. You can't show me that. You can only show me the non-existence of certain combinations. Therefore, your idea of non-existence will depend upon existence.
So according to them, what is not available for perception does not exist.
Yeah, then you have to say that. No, but it will exist for anumanam or upamanam or shabda.
So then abhava what they
Abhava is pratyaksham for them.
perception only.
Because they put it under pratyaksham, we can dismiss it in this manner. Or you will have to say it is come under shabda. Because shabda supersedes. Yeah, abhava pratyogi. See, that's why to give the status of existence to abhava, they will define an existing thing as the counterpositive of its own non-existence. So, to give an example, the book, they will say, Pustaka abhava pratyogi is pustakam. Now, why are you saying it? Why don't you directly say, book is there? You can say directly, book exists. Why do you have to say, Pustaka abhava pratyogi asti? Because in your theory, in your philosophy or a school of thought, you are given existence to abhava. Now you have to validate that abhava. To validate that abhava, you will make complex definitions. Book is. We will say book is, pot is, body is, human being is, everything is. Gata sun, pata sun, etc. So existence is common, forms of existence keep changing. One is a book, one is a cloth, one is a pot, one is a whatever. Forms of existence keep existence. Now they want to give the same degree of reality to abhava. Because they want to give the same degree of reality to abhava, they will define the book as the opposite of the non-existence of a book. Pustaka abhava pratiyogi. Why are you making it?
So then Swamiji, it's temporary non-existence only.
Huh?
It's temporary non-existence. Suppose if I'm not seeing the book,
Yeah.
then I'm saying non-existence in the sense I'm saying the book is not there right now. It's temporary non-existence.
Yeah.
I can't say
Not even temporary non-existence. Because the book is existing somewhere else, no? Either nahi hai, that's all you can say.
that's it.
So what is the example they give? Bhutele gataha nasti. On this surface of the earth, there is no pot. But pot asti, where mama grahe, in my house pot is there. It is not there here, that is all.
So there cannot be anything like complete non.
There cannot be something like pure non-existence cannot be there.
Actually, they are saying anupalabdhi for this.
That's why anupalabdhi is there, necessary.
No, so here, abhava for them,
Yeah.
actually anupalabdhi. No? Because here it
No, for us it is anupalabdhi, for them it is pratyaksha. Because the moment you put it as pratyaksha, you are giving it validity. Whereas we are saying anupalabdhi is only combinations. We are saying you already have the concept in your head. So existing concept. I can say, is the pot here there? No, pot is not there. Why? I have an idea of a pot. I have a concept of that pot. And that concept is not present here. But the concept is there. So you cannot have pure abhava. At least conceptually it has to be there. A man with horns is not there. But the concept is there in your mind. No? And you are saying outside physically it is not there. Therefore, there is nothing like abhava, it's conceptual. Your concept does not exist except as a concept. As a concept, it exists. I can conceive of a pot which is closed on both sides. What is the point? It's not a pot, it can be a ghata to play. But there are people, drummers in South India, who will use a pot to drum. How do you drum when the mouth is open? They'll put the mouth against their stomach. And they all are big bellied people. If you notice, these type of drummers are all got nice bellies. Belly, so that belly closes the mouth. And only then the noise, only then resonance will be there. Resonance will be there in closed spaces. Relatively closed spaces. So, to be a guitar player, you have to have full pack abs, not six pack abs. To have full pack, more than family pack. Jokes apart. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. So, because you want to validate your theory that abhava is a fact, is a padartha. Only for that they do all this. Yeah. See, sometimes such an argument is useful. I was traveling by train many years ago. Okay. So, second class sleeper, Bombay to Chennai. Okay. I was going for this program. So, there was a communist, British communist. Britishers actually, the height of capitalist society is actually Britain. Then only capitalists, they colonized everywhere else also. But this guy has become a leftist, a communist there. And he declared communist. So, he asked me, what are you doing? I said, I'm a Nankite. Then you are not productive. I said, what are you? He said, I'm a teacher. Then you also not productive. What are you making? No, through my students I am productive. I said, same here. Through my students I am productive. I said, independently also I am productive, but I did not. No, I don't think Tarka has the concept of Vritti Vyapti and Phala Vyapti. At least I have not come across that. That's purely a Vedantan's presentation. So this guy said, what do you think is the problems of India? I knew that question was to lead us to say the problems are because of religion. Because that is the leftist approach. All problems are caused by religion. Leftists also cause problems because leftists also don't want to people to become rich. Because if you become rich, you lose control over them. If you are involved in making money, you are not involved in politics. No? You are busy making money. So leftists don't want that. So I gave him a Tarka approach answer. I said, not understanding and living by the greatness of religion and Vedanta. That is the cause of India's problems. So he was taken aback. A good one. He couldn't say anything else. Now his arguments are deflated right from the beginning. Tarkika argument it is. Abhava pratiyogi. Na? I said, not understanding the greatness of our Indian culture and heritage and living by Vedanta, that is the cause of the problems. Correct, no? If you understood the principle of creating wealth, this, that, etc., which we were good in, before the British came, we were contributing to almost 30% of the world economy, GDP. Our GDP was equivalent to 30% of the world economy. By the time the British wealth left, it was barely 1%. Yeah. And 75 years after they are left, we have become the 5th largest, overcoming Britain. We are bigger than Britain. Our economy is bigger than Britain. 75 years. In spite of our socialist policies that we followed for the first 50 years. Until Narasimha Rao started changing some of that. If we had followed that right from the beginning, we would have become number 2 at least. Anyway, that apart. But abhava, the language of abhava has its use. That's why they put it like that. But it is being overstretched there. There is being overstretched. Okay. All right. Then Prasanga Vashat, he also defined, because for any given thing, there can be lot of karanas, causes. For cooking, for example, there has to be raw material, there has to be water, there has to be fire. Correct? Vegetables, rice, this, that, etc. has to be there. There has to be this. So, once you are saying cooking, that there is some raw material is understood or not understood. That's a given. Otherwise, what are you cooking? Unless you are cooking up stories. So, if you are saying pakaha, cooking, then that there is some raw rice, etc. is understood. Rice, wheat, whatever, understood. Then, washing the rice, cleaning the rice, cleaning the vegetables, cutting the vegetables, all that is karanam. What is the asadharana karanam? Unique cause? Fire. Pakasya varnivajnanam. Like however, therefore the unique cause is called karanam in Tarka. Asadharanam karanam, karanam. In Vedanta we look at it slightly different. Karanam is instrument. Okay. In Vedanta we will have upadana karanam, nimitta karanam. Okay. And karanam. Karanam is instruments. Whereas here you will have asadharanam karanam is karanam, slightly different. And how do you define karanam? Karya niyata purva vrittihi. This is important definition. That has to immediately present. Immediately precedes the effect. I am cooking. Who is responsible? Me, not my grandfather. But because without my grandfather, I wouldn't be there. Correct? But he is not involved in the cooking. Why? It is not immediately preceding the effect. Karya niyata purva vrittitvam. Immediately preceding. That khichdi I made. I am the karana, nimitta karanam for the khichdi, not my grandfather. Why? I am there immediately before the khichdi was made. My grandfather is remotely present, not immediately present. Therefore, karya niyata purva vrittitvam. Only that can be taken as cause. Otherwise, anything can be a cause. I told you the story. Muhammad Ali's father claimed he is responsible for his son winning the World Cup, becoming the world champion boxer. Muhammad Ali's father was not there on the scene at all. He said, I fed him well and he became big and strong because of me. Yeah. Like that, then you'll have to say Ishvara is the only karanam for everything. Then you don't have to do anything. But then if you don't do anything, nothing will happen. If you don't do anything, Ishvara's karanam, yeah, but if you don't do anything, nothing will happen. So for your efforts are there, na? Therefore you become karanam, etc. Nimitta karanam, whatever it becomes. Karya niyata purva vrittitvam, which has to be indispensable and immediately proceeding. Indispensable also. Along with me, my pet dog was standing and watching the whole thing. So he is also present, but he is not responsible for the cooking because he is dispensable for the cooking. Whether he is there or not, cooking would have happened. So indispensability also is there. Niyata purva, that's why niyata purva vrittitvam. Yeah. Okay. And then what you will have to say as karya? That which has come from the karanam. But here you will say prag abhava pratiyogi, because that abhava is important for them. Therefore prag abhava pratiyogi. That means what is pot is a cause. Why? Because it comes from clay. Simple. It's a manifestation of clay. We will put it simply. But they will say gata prag abhava pratiyogi. That which is the pratiyogi opposite of the prior non-existence of the pot. ये उल्टा करता है ना. Can you see how it is stretched? They are not following the simple premise that is followed in all Indian philosophy of brevity. If you can say something in 2 sentences, why are you using 20 sentences? Keep it short. Keep it short. Brevity. Yeah. In fact, grammarians take it to the other extreme. Ardhamatra laghavena putrotsama viva manyate. If you save half a matra in writing a sentence, they will rejoice as though a child is born. That's the extreme. That's why you will find in Sanskrit writing, everything is combined together. Sandhi, 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 samasa. Why? To make it brief. So sometimes you struggle to understand what the sentence is. Because everything is combined. Kidhar kya break hota hai? Yeah, I know. I have seen in Kalidasa's work 1 sentence running into 2 pages. 1 sentence. With all sandhi, 2 pages is 1 sentence. Therefore, where will you understand where it started, where it ended, what is in between? It is also meant to exercise your brain. That's why they wrote like that, okay? The aim of poetry is also to exercise your brain. That's why I don't think our ancestors suffered from dementia and things like that, okay? Age-related dementia was not there. Because if you are reading all this, your brain is exercised, you become super strong. Anyway, that apart. Then Karanam, we will put it only as Nimittam and Upadanam, basically. Okay? Here they put it as Samavayi, Asamavayi Karanam. Okay? Inherent cause. Our inherent cause will be our Upadana Karanam. Like tantu and cloth, threads and the cloth, not the kurta, the cloth. So threads and cloth we will put as upadanam. No? For the cloth, the upadana karanam is cloth, is threads. There they will put it as samavayi karanam. Then what is asamvayi karanam? Now they have hair splitting here between the color of the cloth and the color of the threads. Actually, that should also come under Samavayi Karanam, but they are putting it as Asamvayi Karanam. Why? Because the color is present as Samavayi in this thing, no? Inherent in the. No, it is not inherent, it was added to the threads. Therefore, because added there, and then the cloth gained the same color, therefore it's asamvayi karanam. Okay, what is inherent, not inherent? Okay. And what we take as nimitta karanam, they will take as instrumental, incidental, nimittam. For us, nimitta karanam becomes primary. The potter becomes primary, you know, the potter is nimitta to make a pot. Without potter, there is no pot. There can be clay, but there will be a lump of clay lying down. But here they take the pot, the nimitta karanam as incidental cause. This is incidental to the whole thing. And special cause is asadharanam karanam. Because what is the one which is the main thing responsible? Now remember, in some things you cannot make out the main thing. Okay, there will be more than one main thing. It's a complex situation. It's a complex situation. What is the main thing? Okay, here is the question for you. Women's Day just went off 2-3 days back, no? Creation of a child, who is more important, father or mother? Without father there is no child, without mother there is no child. Can you say both are equally important?
Yes.
Okay. Indian dharma, Manu, the much maligned Manu, gives more importance to the woman. There's an interesting discussion as a case study. There is a woman, there is a husband, and she has a lover as well. Lover, other than her husband, okay? Today it will be called what? Polyamorous or whatever. Okay. Woman, husband, lover. Woman has given a birth to a child. Both people are claiming that child as mine. Who should be given the custody of the child? In today's day, we will say, give a paternity test and you can ascertain who the child is, no? Who the father of the child is. But you know what Manu's ruling is? The child belongs to the woman because she is the kshetra. She is the field from which the child has come. Woman has a first claim. So the child will be with the woman irrespective of who is the father. Father you can establish. It's connecting up again. Okay. After quite a long gap, it's okay. Once or twice it happens, it's all right. We can accept it. Yeah. Zoom. Wi-Fi becomes asadharana karanam. Anyway, we are almost at the end. Still struggling to connect. I change over to the phone. Yeah. Yeah. Not too bad today. Only once in a way it is gone off. Okay. Therefore, according to Manu, the custody of the child is a woman's. Right? She is the main thing. Yeah. Because without she carrying the child for 9 months, the child will not be born. The man has only contributed to the seed. She is considered the kshetra and the man is considered only as the seed. Therefore, first rice is. So, even to choose adhadharanam karanam, the parameters can be different. Yeah, main cause. Yeah. Paternity test will decide among the two. But the first claim is the woman's. Yeah. To an extent, the law follows it, no? The child below 5 years old.
7 years without asking the custody
Yeah.
has to be given to the mother.
Yeah.
Then if the child is 8 or 9, then depending on the
Other circumstances. Yeah.
7 without
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. Correct. That's the right thing. So, with that, we have come to this section. I think next class we will sum up the whole question of, we will see how much we can do in terms of epistemology. So, 1 or 2 classes we will complete this text. And then we will start Vedanta Paribhasha. Udhar maja aayega. Okay. Yeah. This is only a trial run. Okay. So,